Good evening, everybody. Welcome to America's Third Party. I'm David Sponheim, and this is Wasteful Wednesday. Hello. We are mixing it up every single night. Tonight, we're going to be talking about how the Democrats are finally getting the gumption to impeach, and how Pelosi is having to wrestle this reality that is becoming more and more of a fact. The caucuses, the Democratic caucuses, are all leading toward impeachment now. And the fact that Donald Trump is doing everything he can to hide his tax returns and all of his financials from Deutsche Bank and Capital One, all of that points to Donald Trump is acting like a guilty person. Remember when he said, "I'll gladly show you my tax returns for 10 years, no problem"? That was a complete and utter lie. Now we've got an interesting thing evolving in our show. We've been heavily censored on the new network, iVlog. Everything changed recently. They won't allow any guests to come in without signing up and giving your email address. And they didn't tell anybody. And all of this happened at a time when I saw it happen right before my very eyes, actually. We got a letter from somebody from Thailand who was escaping persecution. And somehow he wrote us a letter after just literally buying a phone, and he was carrying important information out of the country. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but right around then, we had like 38 guest chatters at the time. And right after that, the entire thing shut down. We had one guest chatter. And ever since then, we've had very few guest chatters. And a lot of people are really upset they can't get in. So it's like somebody's watching that show and just decided to shut it down, put the screws down on it. And we're dealing with that fact too. And I'm still looking at other broadcast networks to bump into for more chat access. But believe me, chat access has been a high priority, and they're just shutting us down everywhere we can turn. And I'm not going to let that stop me, though. So Trump is continuing to act like an incompetent buffoon, while his Trump-tard supporters continue to support him mindlessly, even though he's lied 6,000 times to the American people. Trump rages at Democrats as investigations advance on multiple fronts. They are getting subpoenas together. They're putting together contempt citations against William Barr and Mnuchin because they're holding back the records, his financial records. The Democrats are simply looking for discovery here. They're trying to find out if Donald Trump deserves impeachment, and they can't even do that. He's obstructing every turn they make. So if anyone were to act like a guilty person right now, it's Donald Trump. And that Donald Trump is obviously very guilty of many things, many transgressions, and all of this. Oh, do not bash Trump supporters or I will get you kicked. You just got kicked, buddy. Yeah. I'll bash Trump supporters anytime I want. I'm going to hush you. You're out of here. All right. Obviously, they're just letting in the Trump supporters into our iVlog show. That's probably, are you a Trump supporter? Then come on into David's show. Yeah. Well, he's going to be out as president very soon. And you definitely can rely on that. He will not probably make it through his second term, or his first term rather. And he certainly won't get to a second term, because more and more we're finding that his connections with the Russians were real. According to the Mueller report, even the redacted version, 448 pages, Trump's team contacted the Russians 127 times before the election. Now, because of that reality, you're not allowed to come in either. Yeah, bye. Don't come in. Don't come in and don't talk. Thank you. We don't allow Trump supporters in our iVlog room, so apparently that's the only people we have in here. All right, so we're on to the iVlog attempt to shut us down. We got that. Figured that out a long time ago. Again, they're not going to be able to stop me. I am the unstoppable force on the internet. And the reason why I am doing this is because I foresaw the censorship 10 years ago. That's why I did the blackface video. And I'm more than willing to stand up for the people that are Americans who do things like blackface videos. Like this man, Governor Northam, who I tweeted about today. I said, I support the right of anyone to wear blackface, as it is not inherently racist. Protected by the First Amendment. Democrats are framing blackface as racist as they did not pass the Civil Rights Act. That's right, the Democrats did not pass the Civil Rights Act. It was the Republicans that passed it. JPF, we have a Blackface 2 on YouTube now. If you haven't seen, I've got 2 hours of hilarious entertainment. I did it in 2014, and you'll love it. Let me send you to my link. It's at the bottom of the page at David John Sponheim. You got to wade through a lot of cooking shows to get there, 75 cooking shows. But you can see the video. We got 2 hours. Check it out. It's hilarious. I did Blackface 2 in 2014. But this man is being vilified, and he and his wife are having to answer to all kinds of claims. You know that she served cotton balls to black kids for Halloween? Because she happened to live in a house that was a plantation-style house, and that, they say, is racist. She also served cotton balls to white kids, too. And she's also accused of asking the black kids, how would it feel like to be a slave? Think about that. And if she did say that, all she was doing was trying to give these kids a perspective on how lucky they were to be in America now after the entire civil rights movement, as well as the Civil War ended. I mean, vilifying this woman and this man who are trying to help the state of Virginia and were duly elected by the people of Virginia is really a low blow by the Democrats. So I tweeted about that today. The very fact that Trump is trying to hide his financial records is enough to launch impeachment hearings now, and I'm using that as my hashtag, impeachment hearings now. It is equally disturbing that Pelosi's net worth is $125 million. Both parties are corrupt. That is why we are here now dealing with it. Yeah, so Trump and Pelosi face to face after Speaker's cover-up charge. Apparently, the Speaker's finally telling
President Trump's closest confidant.
Pelosi's finally telling Trump that she believes he covered everything up, and I do too.
Now served with a subpoena. Hope Hicks, the president's longtime advisor and former communications director, compelled to provide records and testimony to the House Judiciary Committee next month about potential obstruction of justice at the White House. Also, the Democratic-led committee serving a subpoena to Annie Donaldson, a former top aide in the White House counsel's office who served as chief of staff to Don McGahn. But the White House has resisted on all fronts and has said that former top officials cannot be compelled to testify about their conversations with the president. And that has prompted more Democrats to say their only recourse is impeachment.
Nobody runs for Congress with the idea that I want to go there and start impeachment, but I think that's what it's come to.
Tonight, there's a growing rift in the Democratic caucus to launch an impeachment inquiry. The pressure building across the caucus from veteran members.
The impeachment process is going to be inevitable.
That's great. Democrat Kentucky, John Yarmouth. I'm glad that these Democrats are stepping up and getting behind this. And as you know, Beto O'Rourke is trying to ride the wave of impeachment. He can't get a lot of people to go to his meetings because of the history of him wanting to kill children. Yeah, and people realize now that Beto O'Rourke was involved in a hacker group where he wrote stories about wanting to kill children. No matter what he does, even if he jumps on the impeachment bandwagon, that won't get him the virality he needs to be the nominee for the Democratic Party. If anything, I should be the nominee for the Democratic Party. But I left the Democratic Party because I couldn't stand the lies and the fakery and the attempt to shut down democracy. I witnessed Democrats telling me to shut up at Democratic meetings. I couldn't believe it. And that's when I started America's Third Party 10 years ago. I'm not data mining anybody. Tobaccos, no. I don't data mine any of you people. That's just not true. I have never grabbed cookies from any of you. In fact, I urge people to go to Vaughn's pop-out chat when they get accounts. When you get your account, go to Vaughn's pop-out chat, and then, assuming you can get pop-out chat, and then use that as your chat tool in the show. Now, if you want to watch our show, both chat rooms simultaneously, and believe me, iVlog has changed recently. There's been a major workup. There's something really weird going on over there. I have a feeling they kicked a few people out that were our supporters. We don't even have our ops in any place. I don't even think Scissor Fight can get in the show. I think he was shut out too. Yeah. So we're completely censored over there at iVlog, and we're rolling in kind of limp mode over at Vaughn. Reptoid said, did anyone else get a big play button blocking the stream when logging in? Yes, Reptoid. Thank you for sharing. You guys who are having problems getting in, we've had numerous people complain. They're censoring us big time because they're afraid this party is taking off and they don't want it. They're literally trying to stop it. Like I said, I believe I am being shadow banned, and I'll mute you because you keep repeating the same thing. If I'm shadow banned, it's on my end. That's what shadow banning is. You just don't understand that. Santa Anita reported 60 horse deaths since 2018. The number is higher than 27, folks. Santa Anita's got something really weird going on in the tracks. They say it could be the bad track and how the horses are stumbling and breaking their limbs. But a horse that was injured during a race at Santa Anita on Sunday was euthanized, bringing the total of horse fatalities to 25 since late December. But overall, you're looking at 60 horses having died since 2018. A shoulder injury just days before from galloping during training. 36 horses in 2018 raises the stakes. Uncovering the deaths, further reforms may be necessary. Okay, this is just a weird story. I can't explain why all these horses are dying.
Horse has been euthanized at Santa Anita after suffering catastrophic injuries.
Yeah, this makes it 25 horses now put down at the track since December 26th. KCAL 9's David Goldstein has been investigating Santa Anita and horse racing deaths for months now.
Our investigation found another 36 horses that died at Santa Anita last year. That's in addition to the 25 that have died since December. And lawmakers who've been looking into those deaths say it's the first they've heard of it.
Wow.
I was shocked when I saw the KCBS report on the deaths of the 36 horses prior to the deaths of the 23 horses that we all heard about.
Congresswoman Judy Chu is reacting to our recent investigation, uncovering more deaths at Santa Anita Racetrack. CBS 2 News has learned 36 additional horses died at Santa Anita in 2018. These are horses that had to be euthanized after racing or training at the track.
Okay, yeah, I'm just shocked. I love horses, and it really upsets me when the track conditions are that bad that the horses are dying. Okay, so big news. Trump is still dealing with the Democrats coming at him, and they're coming at him with the power of the House, which is greater than the power of the Attorney General or the power of the executive branch. What you're seeing, folks, in real time is our nation trying to correct itself. Okay? You're hearing about a big political scandal in U.S. history about to come to light. The intel community is scrambling to cover it up. Page Clapper Brennan's ST. Let's take a look. We're getting some feeds from iVlog. As you know, iVlog has been nearly shut down completely on us after somebody got to them and paid them off. I'm pretty sure they got paid off. Okay, so you believe that Clapper and Page and Brennan are going to be nailed to the cross by William Barr? Good luck. Yeah, I think William Barr is going to be nailed to the cross on contempt charges. Absolutely. He'll be serving jail time if he keeps this up. William Barr can run around attacking every Democrat for investigating the Republicans and their involvement in the Russians all he wants. It's not going to give him cover for what is really coming down, which is a true move by our most powerful branch of government, the House. And this is going to be a big, huge rift in our country. So prepare for the worst. Many of you have not stocked up on food. I think many of you are going to have to start doing that. I don't care who you are, and I don't care what you think you're talking about in our show. You need to get to the business of building your own personal food storage. And I'm not trying to sell you anything. This isn't like Alex Jones. I'm not trying to pitch you on some idea to make money. I don't make money on any of that because I don't make any money at this at all. I'm totally dedicated to doing this for free. They say that price of gas could go up this summer, especially if Donald Trump was to start a war with Iran as a diversion to get away from this attack he's been getting from the Democrats. Donald Trump's go-to solution is to divert our attention constantly, and we'll be talking about that later tonight. He just asked me how many votes I got in the upcoming election, or the past election. And that's a bannable offense to ask me that. Yeah. Same with you, Flim Flam. Pursue that line of questioning, I'll just ban you. Yeah, I have no idea how many votes I got. I've been censored for 10 years. You're talking to a man who's been literally underwater, breathing on the last vestiges of oxygen, so to speak, as a metaphor. Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna be a big reveal. Yeah, I don't think the crimes even happened. Yeah, I think Strzok might have worked to help protect Hillary, but you've got to ask yourself, why hasn't Donald prosecuted Hillary on the Benghazi charges or anything? So I don't believe that story. It's an alt-right story coming out of QAnon. So I'm going to go ahead and purge it. Yeah, it's of no value here. If Strzok is charged, great, because he definitely did cull the amount of emails from 35,000 down to 3,500 for Hillary. And he probably pulled any Benghazi links out of those emails. Hey, I'm on your side, really. I want to support the right's concern about Hillary, but Donald hasn't done anything. And you people are still supporting Donald, so you get off that bandwagon and come over to America's Third Party and we can talk. I want to prosecute both the left and the right. And I want to look at some of the bigger crimes in history, like the 9/11 attack. Last night we talked about the cover-ups that went on. Building 6, Building 7, the Pentagon being hit by a missile. All that's very relevant. Yeah. But really the bigger question I'm facing right now is, why are they censoring me so hard at this point? Why are they trying to put the screws down right now? Because they know that I've got the numbers watching our show every night. And they know that the people want to find out more about American politics. Absolutely. And they're aware that a third party could destabilize the two parties' control over our country, and that's exactly what it will do. Ben Carson's Oreos screw-up is the most predictable thing ever, really? Well, Ben Carson is unfortunately unable to answer questions about his department. Now he's talking about Omar. Huh. Omar knocked his behavior during the appearance before the House Financial Services Committee. She says, not sure he was fully awake. Maybe he meant to reclaim his time back to sleep. She quipped. She was playing off of Carson's request for time during a testy exchange with Representative Ayanna Pressley, Democrat from Massachusetts. Let's listen in.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Secretary Carson, I've waited a long time for this moment. But the residents of my district, the 7th Congressional in Massachusetts, have been waiting far longer for your agency to do its job. Colleagues across the aisle earlier were critical of the passion and even the outrage that we've expressed on this side of the aisle. I make no apologies for that. This matter is very, very personal. Let me be clear, housing is a fundamental human right, and the displacement of families should be regarded as the public health crisis that it is. Mr. Secretary, your pioneering work in pediatric neurology is historic, and it is something to be commended. And so it pains me that your gifted hands and mine are doing the bidding and carrying the water of what I official task with leading Massachusetts State Representative.
Sounds like you have not.
Since I am short on time here, yes or no, is stable and safe housing a social determinant of health?
Sounds like you have not been here and heard most of my testimony.
Please just answer the question, reclaiming my time. Yes or no, is stable and safe housing a social determinant of health?
There is no question that housing is an important part of health.
Yes or no?
No question that it's a part of health.
It is well documented that health problems such as lead poisoning, asthma, and injuries from trips and falls, especially amongst our senior population, can be linked to substandard housing conditions. Combined, these conditions result in billions a year in healthcare costs. Many of those most at risk of developing these conditions reside in public and federally assisted housing. Yes or no? If left unaddressed, do you believe the substandard public housing conditions pose a risk to tenants' physical, mental, and emotional health? If left unaddressed.
Yes or no? Can you ask me some questions yourself?
You don't get to dictate.
Whoa, whoa. This guy is like sleeping or something. Look at how is he on Valium? Oh my gosh, he's a doctor. He can prescribe himself Valium. Okay, that's what happened. I've seen people on Valium. This guy's on Valium. Seriously.
Okay, well, my line of questioning is reclaiming my time. You're a very smart
You can
man,
reclaim
so
it
you
all you
understand the question. Please answer it. Yes or no, if left unaddressed, which I believe they are unaddressed because this budget does not reflect the need, do you believe the substandard public housing conditions pose a risk to tenants' physical, mental, and emotional health?
You already know the answer to that.
Yes or no?
You know the answer.
Yes or no? I know the answer. Do you know the answer? Yes or no?
Reclaiming my time.
You don't get to do that.
The time belongs to the gentle lady.
Now, he didn't have any clue as to some of the agencies, REO, that he's overseeing, and he thought they're referring to an Oreo. Yeah. So the REO reference by Carson was misinterpreted as, it's a real estate term, REO. It means real estate owned, and he didn't know what that meant. So he's in charge of HUD, so he doesn't have a clue as to what real estate owns is. This man is on Valium. It's pretty obvious, so he's unable to actually make any assessments. These are the kind of people that Donald Trump has put in power. These are the kind of people that we're seeing now dominate our government and make it fail, essentially. Literally screwing it up. And the people that voted for him look like this. And are in our room right now watching our show saying, no, you're bad-mouthing the president. You're not supposed to do that. Yeah, it's illegal for you to bad-mouth the president. They don't even know what kind of country they're living in. They don't realize that I have freedom of speech and it protects me to bad-mouth anybody in public office anytime I want. They don't get that. No, you can't do that, Dave. Anyway, Ben Carson, kind of a non-issue. Anyone who would attack his mother with a ball-peen hammer and then write about it and then sell the rights to a TV show, that's got to be the weirdest person I've ever seen. I seriously doubt that he was the key surgeon in separating the heads of two Siamese twins. I wouldn't touch him with a scalpel. I mean, obviously this guy's on some sort of a controlled substance. Okay, let's move on. Latest Avenatti charges reignite criticism of the media that once lauded him. Really? Here we go again. I can badmouth the president anytime I want. I guess Oblog is the Trump supporter room now. You're out of here. Yeah, they just let Trump supporters into iBlog now. Wow. You people are really out to lunch. Okay, so latest Avenatti charges reignite criticism of media that once lauded him. Look at that. He's charged with stealing $300,000 from a former client, Stormy Daniels. Can you imagine? He had her rolling around the cities doing strip teases so he could generate money for his campaign and for, to run for president.
This nation owes a sense of gratitude to my client, Stormy Daniels.
And you had sex with him?
Yes.
This is old news. I just want to get to the story. Federal grand jury in Manhattan indicted celebrity attorney Michael Avenatti on Wednesday in 2 alleged schemes, charging him with fraud, identity, and aggravated identity theft involving his former client Stormy Daniels and with attempting to extort more than $20 million from sportswear giant Nike. Wow. Okay, Pitoro, we got a video for him at 20. Okay, let's take a look. A train hits a police car. Thank you, Pitoro. Now, as you know, this show has outlasted many of our, even our ops. So it doesn't surprise me that, we're moving forward despite all adversity here. I've seen people who don't have the stomach to handle this show and can't handle the kind of verbal abuse that they put out, the trolls do in our show. Bear in mind, you people who are in the show and have managed to stay in the show as chatters, you're doing pretty well. Seriously. Hey, welcome. Hi, DT Laura. Yeah. Say hi. Hi, DT Laura. So, many people who keep coming back are able to get into the show, which is amazing, but let's bear in mind, a lot of people can't handle it. They can't handle the rigor. Now, I've been doing this for 10 years, 6 hours or 5 hours live footage every day, and then 4 hours of video. And I'm in the show chatting with you guys and talking over the video sometimes. And I appreciate your support, but bear in mind, we're being really, really screwed now. They're putting the screws down on us because they know that our worldwide viewership is just outrageous. People are trying to get in here left and right. Now, if I could send you people to a chat room, that would be great. You can get to a chat room where you can post at America's Third Party. I've got the C-Box up and running. And the C-Box is a place, you know, if you get a message out, you want to write something, we have it for you anytime you want. Our most recent C-Box post was from a guy who's having problems getting into iVlog because they basically make it so that guests have to sign in now. And they never told anybody they were going to do that. And all this happened recently, like I said, when that person from Thailand contacted us, and then all of a sudden it shut down. It's like the government must have shut him down or something. But thank you for addressing the no guest chat situation on iVlog. We haven't had guest chat for weeks now. I'd like my privacy and I don't want to be trolled. Should I get a VPN? Probably so. You should probably get a VPN and use their guest chat feature to get in there, using some sort of an email address that you can disguise from, you know, to preserve your safety. There are emails that you can get like Proton Mail that are completely safe. Proton Mail is one of the providers of safe, secure emails online now, and you get a free account there too. But Croftman here, let's see what Croftman said. He said, "Sorry, Mark censor you, bro." And this is 3 weeks ago, right when the attack started. Mark made over 900 million censoring your show. That's when Mark threw this whole thing into high gear and must have made a really big cash offering to iVlog. He probably bought the network for all we know. And remember, Mark has not been seen at all on camera since the T. Rucker thing blew up in his face. When T. Rucker did a show, when Mark cried when his friend died of cancer. Yeah, so all this thing is going on right now, right in front of our eyes, like a soap opera. But if you want to get a message through at our C-Box at americasthirdparty.com, you can. Some people can't get through because they can't even get into that venue just to type. For some people, our show at America's Third Party won't even open up because sometimes my secure server works and sometimes it doesn't. I'm still trying to figure out what's going on with that. We set up a secure server and they just continue to act like it's not secure. Okay, this is at 20. We're going to look at a police car getting hit by a train. Here we go.
Whoa. Oh my God.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Needless to say, that driver's probably dead.
Oh my God.
Oh, really?
Stay in the car. Stay in the car.
Needless to say, the officer suffered only minor injuries. Wow, he's lucky. Unreal. Okay, just because a train leaves in front of you doesn't mean another one's not coming the other way. Close calls every day at crossings, I bet so, Saudi, yeah. Well, thanks for that link, Pitoro. I didn't know. You got another one?
Thank you. Wow.
Butt plug is getting a standing ovation at Fox. You see how the two parties are starting to cave into political correctness? Buttigieg is getting support from even the Fox News. You see how they're trying to promote Buttigieg?
Standing ovation.
Wouldn't your plan to do away with the Electoral College hurt a state like New Hampshire? Well, first of all, New Hampshire's status as an early primary state is one of the things that sees to it that there is a lot of attention paid here. And it's actually something that I think forces us candidates to get out of national media mode and actually engage people in a human way, which is helpful. But when it comes to the general election, at risk of sounding simplistic, I think the right thing to do is just to have everybody's vote count the same. Look.
You know, the right thing to do is to not embrace religion as a way of defending your homosexuality. And Buttplug has done that. He's called out other candidates on a religious basis and made statements regarding religion, like he's using religion as his defense in a country that's dedicated to separation of church and state. It's the most heinous act of throwing religion out there when you're openly gay. I've never seen anything like it. An openly gay person who is seen in the Bible as being an abomination is using religion as a defense mechanism in attacking people. Anyway, I just don't have a lot of time for Buttplug. Standing ovation from Fox, yeah. The two-party system is caving into political correctness. Let's just put it that way. And that's why a third party is needed right now. I don't support LGBTQ. I'll be frank. I'm not going to give those people any catering to their cause. I'm not going to build transgender bathrooms for them. I will, however, enforce the non-discrimination laws that are currently on the books in government jobs. But I won't tell a mom and pop store that they have to hire a quota of trannies in their employee role in order to meet and comply with our standards of affirmative action. I want an end to affirmative action. I want the Democrats to disappear on that note. I don't want the Democrats to lead our country anymore, and I don't want them to push political correctness. This obsession with calling people out as racists who did blackface video is ridiculous. You know, at this point, if we knew that Barack Obama was homosexual during the early days, he never would have been elected president. The fact that he lied about his sexuality and he still claims he's somehow a heterosexual, even though he lusted after his professor in his book. He said he lusted after his professor in college in his recent book. I mean, that's got to be the most damning admission that he could ever have. So let's go to a video of Michelle Obama playing or dancing on Ellen DeGeneres. You tell me if this isn't a penis between Michelle Obama's legs. Yeah. Let's go there again. Hang on. Okay, well, it's just not queuing up. Hang on. That's the money shot right there. Okay, let's go ahead and run that on repeat. Yeah, I'll zoom in on it for you so you can look at it. Yeah, I'll make it easier for you to identify the Michelle penis. Look at the size of that penis. It looks like a testicle too. Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that this man named Michael Obama, in fact, is a homosexual, along with Barack Obama, and they had us convinced that they were a heterosexual couple all these years. That's how deep the lie goes. Now, we cannot pursue the truth unless we start exposing lies right in front of us. And this is definitely one of them, that she's somehow a first lady. It's ridiculous. Okay, so we've encountered a lot of attacks on our show over at iVlog. We've seen our ops have been removed. We no longer have ops, and I don't think they can even get in here. Yeah. Why are Democrats calling for impeachment hearings when in the end they don't have the votes for impeachment? JPF, they do have the votes for impeachment. Oh yeah. They can easily pull a 2/3 majority of Democrats and Republicans. Easily. There's a lot of people, even Kevin McCarthy, openly said publicly, the House Minority Leader openly said publicly that there are two people that are paid by Russia for their political involvement. One of them is Dana Rohrabacher, and the other is Donald Trump. That's a direct quote from Kevin McCarthy. So the minority leader in the House that leads the Republicans has openly said that Russia is paying Donald Trump. He can easily be swayed. It wouldn't take a lot of arm wrestling to get him on board, really. So I don't think for a second that they don't have the votes. I think they do have the votes for impeachment. And Kevin McCarthy has been mute on the subject because a lot of Republicans are dancing a fine line. They'd be banned by their own Republican Party for going against the norm of sucking up to Trump, or they stand on their own and take the heat and then reestablish themselves as Republicans and win again in an upcoming election. The Republicans themselves are under a tremendous amount of pressure to conform to the Trump beliefs. And Trump is all over the place. He's completely changeable every day. He's threatening Pelosi back and forth, not revealing any financial records. Trump is acting like a guilty person. Everything he does looks like a guilty person. So the more people are seeing this, the more likely people will defect and go to the impeachment side. No one wants to stand behind a guilty person, especially when it becomes more obvious that he is going down. So you're going to see a tilt toward impeachment in the next couple of weeks. As the more he hides his financial records, Mnuchin is going to be charged with contempt, as well as William Barr, already charged with contempt. They're going to be charged with felonies, both Mnuchin and William Barr, and be prosecuted for felonies. These are criminal charges. They'll both spend 5 years in jail. Trump will have to reassign a new Treasury Secretary and a new Attorney General. That's what's going down. Whether you like it or not, that's the future. Now, William Barr can crazily say that he's attacking the people that investigated the Russian investigation, when our top intelligence agencies confirmed that the Russians rigged the election in favor of Donald Trump. The FBI even told that to Donald Trump 2 days before the inauguration, and he's never, ever openly said that that's the case. In fact, he has had private conversations with Vladimir Putin even after he found out he was under investigation, which indicates collusion. Now, the Republicans have vainly argued that Ronald Reagan didn't record any of his minutes with Gorbachev. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. Well, he recorded that, but he didn't record any of his minutes. Ronald Reagan was not under investigation for colluding with Russia. That's the difference. Trump is. And Trump didn't present any notes whatsoever of any of his 7.5 hours of conversations he's had with him. So Donald Trump can continue saying no collusion, no obstruction, read my lips. It's landing on hollow ears now, because the more you look at the depth of this corruption, the more you realize still waters run deep. And they try to make these waters very still so no one can see the swamp creatures that are lingering in Donald Trump's cabinet. He didn't get rid of the swamp. He installed a snake pit. Why are there 6 billionaires in the cabinet of Donald Trump? I'm going to go out there on a limb and say I'm guessing that they all got paid off, or they paid off to get him to pick them as a cabinet member. I know for a fact that Betsy DeVos gave him $9.5 million to his campaign fund, which is an illegal donation. Illegal. She also gave the Republican National Committee $200 million at the same time. That's a buy-in. That's just as illegal as Rod Blagojevich turning on the phone and saying he'd sell a seat to Barack Obama's U.S. Senate seat for some money. And Rod Blagojevich is still serving time, 14 years in jail for doing this. So you can't tell me that there's 6 billionaires in the cabinet, because they just are really smart at what they do. I'm asking all of you, if you had $1,000 million or more in the bank account, that's $1 billion, would you be working every day? I'd say hell no. Nobody would work except to maybe volunteer their time. You can't tell me he's got 6 volunteers, philanthropists in the cabinet because they just like being there. They're rigging all kinds of things in favor of more money, padding their pockets and padding their cronies' pockets. That's what they're doing. Yes, 1,000 million is a billion. Yeah. 1,000 million bucks. That's a lot of money, I know. If you had 1,000 million or more, because some of these billionaires have a couple billion, you wouldn't be working. Why do we have 6 billionaires in the White House? So we do have a bunch of snakes that are constantly working on anything they can grab onto and snap onto and bite into. Anything that looks munchy and can give their crony friends some more support. Betsy DeVos' a younger brother is Eric Prince, the guy who ran Blackwater, that was alleged killed 17 Iraqi citizens. Blackwater was charged with killing 17 Iraqi citizens and never faced trial. Then Eric Prince changed the company name to Academy, or XE and then Academy. He keeps changing his name so no one knows it's Blackwater. But yeah, that's Betsy DeVos' younger brother. This is pretty serious. So we've got some pretty dark players in the cabinet of Donald Trump. So if you Trump's supporters are going to continue to side on Donald Trump's side, you might as well vote for Putin and Trump in 2020. You might as well just have a Putin. I think Putin should probably run as his VP because Putin could claim he was born in Honolulu, like Barack Obama did. You know? Trump, Putin, 2020. Maybe make a thing about it. Is there collusion? Yes. Is there corruption at every level? Yes. Does he meet the test for impeachment? Yes. He cheated in the election with Russia's help. That's one contingency needed to meet for impeachment. 2, did he misuse his power? According to the 448 pages of redacted Mueller report, yes, he ran around telling people to stop the Russian investigation at all costs. That's a misuse of power. And even his experts were saying, yeah, you can't do that, Donald. And he was getting away with it. That's intent to obstruct, and that's a misuse of power. Okay, Sarah's in. Welcome.
This is a butterfly in my hair.
Wow.
Feathers coming out of it.
That is beautiful.
Butterfly in my hair.
That is beautiful. That's an antique, isn't it?
No, I got this at the
Oh, you got that at the fair?
Yeah.
Wow, I remember that. Yeah, that's beautiful. We also have an antique one like that with feathers. So.
Yeah, it's in my hair too.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's in back. Look at that. You can barely see it in the light, but yeah, it's an antique butterfly. You look beautiful. So how was your day? Pretty good?
Excellent.
Wow, cool. That's great.
It was.
She had a really fantastic
one of the best
day.
days of my life.
No kidding. Wow.
Well.
You said that the other time when you had a big, huge event, so they're getting better. She's getting better
I am
days.
awesome. Let's just say that.
She is really amazing.
I am amazing.
Let me give you an update on what's happening here, just so you know. Our super ops have been taken out. Our operators have been taken out. iVlog is now making it so you have to sign in to be a guest. Guest chat's no longer available to anybody at iVlog.
Okay.
We only have a few number of guests who are mostly Republicans, supporters
Isn't
of
it
Donald.
free to make an account though?
It is free to make an account, but you have to sign in, and a lot of people don't like to give their data when they sign in as guests. So that changed dramatically over the past 3 weeks.
But you can see that guests are still watching. They just can't chat.
But I've had numerous people tell me they can't even get in as guests. So some people don't care if iVlog gets their data, but three or 4 weeks ago, all of this changed. And there was a major change in our show. We had like 38 guest chatters down to like 1 that day. And that's when it all changed. So we've got that happening, and then we've got Vaughn doing pretty well overall. We got the same people still complaining about getting into Vaughn, having to refresh their screen for 45 minutes to get in. Okay. So we got censorship on both fronts here, just so you know.
Got it.
All right, Sarah's going to take over. I'm going to do some cooking. I'll be back.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really have time to eat a good lunch, so I'm looking forward to whatever you concoct. Yes, I did say that. Whatever he whips up. There we go. Do 10 push-ups? I could, but I don't want to. All right, if you say Big Outlaw, if you say so. Hello, 208. Wait. I think you've left the room. Never mind. Sarah, 1111111. 20. No cheating. What is that? You may do 20 push-ups, no cheating. Not right now. Maybe another time. I talk like my students sometimes. It's funny. I usually talk like I'm talking to students. I don't really mean to do that, but sometimes I do it. You love me reading in a British accent. I'm glad you like that, because actually there's this cool book by David Williams. My friend let me borrow. Everything was fine until I let the substitute read it. Anyway, it's a British book, and so I did talk in a British accent. And then I was telling kids about the word accent, and I always put on my Mississippi accent when I'm talking to tell them about the word accent. Anyway, Sarah, do you always pump your own gas? Not always. I usually pump my own gas unless I'm in the state of Oregon. Wait. That's wrong. If I can get David to pump my gas for me, he sometimes pumps my gas too. Oh, that's true. I shouldn't talk in a southern accent. I might get some people all happy. Sarah, if you could change anything in the public schools, what would it be? Oh, the one thing I would love to strive for is that public schools should make it feel like a community, and their biggest message to be to students is that you are loved. Because sometimes if they can't experience that elsewhere, we need to make sure that they experience that at least once in their life. I love that you guys come and watch my show. Thank you for making me feel loved. Yep, you can't pump your own gas in Oregon or New Jersey. I did work at a gas station at one time. Other things, that's the most important, I would say, is building relationships in public schools. But I would say there's other things that I would love to see with public schools and I would love them to focus on getting outside and into the garden more frequently, doing more project-based learning, doing more in-depth math where it's not just, I don't like the constant word problems. It should be like, hey, let's build and design this garden space. Okay, so what do we need and how are we going to measure? And like getting them to do an actual learning how to measure because they're building something rather than learning how to measure because it's on a worksheet. No child is going to grow up that I know. There's no adult that I know of that's like, do you remember that worksheet from 5th grade? It was like the coolest worksheet ever, right? No. People don't remember worksheets. And long after people remember what you taught them, whether it becomes like so ingrained that they don't remember who taught it to them or they forget it, long after a child forgets what you've taught them, they will remember how you made them feel. And so I try to make students feel that someone cares about them. Most of the time. Sometimes I'm just so sad and I just like, please have some sympathy for me. Anyway, but today was more about making kids feel like they make a difference and making kids feel like they can have a big impact on the world. Yes, I'm sorry that happened to you, Hot Reels. Because really, I mean, when I look at my students, I see young people. You think I should teach individualism, belief in yourself, and looking out for number one? I teach collectivism. Actually, I teach both. I believe that I like to care for people, and I like to show that I care for people, but I also know that I have to take care of myself, because it's easy to just be a giver and give and give all you've got and then give some more, and then then sometimes the takers would say, oh, there's a giver, let's take everything from that giver. But really, you have to care for yourself so that you can give to others. And so that somebody doesn't end up having to take care of you. I mean, the worst thing that someone like me, like that, who likes to help others, would hate is, I would totally hate someone having to take care of me because I didn't take care of myself and my health. So take care of yourself first. Yes, be an individual. 2, once you are set and you're healthy, then maybe look for ways where you can serve and give to others. For some people, it takes them a long time to be able to take care of themselves and have themselves reach a state in which they can give. That's okay. You know, and that's fine. I actually do teach a lot of, I try to do some individualized and diversified education, because different kids are at different places in their learning path. Will I drink out of plastic? Yes, I do sometimes drink out of plastic. Do I prefer drinking out of plastic? No, I prefer not drinking out of plastic. It's not really with the texture, even though that is a factor, but I'm a big environmentalist, and I really believe in reducing trash. And one of my best friends, yeah, I could say that. One of my very good friends, she passed away, and she was vital to getting our school to change from plastic sporks to metalware. They taught you calculus, but not how to balance a checkbook. Man, I tried to teach I set up my homework. You know how some people have like a reading log where they're like 20 minutes a night and they have to sign up 20 minutes. I say 100 minutes a week, but you can keep it like a checkbook. Like, tonight I read 15 minutes. Tomorrow night I read 35 minutes. The next night I read 18 minutes. The next night I read 23 minutes. Add it all up. If it's more than 100 minutes a week, good job. And budgeting money is important. I haven't done it in a while, but I used to teach kids about budgeting money. It is funny because I give these little tickets as like awards, like, hey, you're doing a great job, here's a ticket, you're doing a great job, here's a ticket. And then I kind of treat it like a money a little bit, in that, like, if they want to share something or they want to bring a stuffed animal from home, then they can use their tickets to buy those privileges. Especially if there's not, like, if there's something that I have limited time, like for me, time is limited, or I don't want them to, yeah, anyway, they can earn their awards. Good, I'm glad you say kids need that, because I do that. One of my friends, colleagues, was talking about getting a bank someone from the bank to come in and talk to kids about banking. Okay. Sorry. Hello, Alan John. Yeah, banking is boring, you say? Like, I don't know. I don't mind budgeting. I kind of like it. Especially like the fact that I have a decent savings account. And I'm building my retirement and I'm not in debt. Can you imagine all those people that are in debt? Oh, those poor people. Alright, Ivan, thanks. What do you dislike about it, Ivan? Yeah. Yes, smarter than many, maybe to not be in any debt. I was able to get my master's degree with no student debt whatsoever. And it only cost $10,000 for me. You don't want to be smart, you just want to get along. That is a very key skill. Good point, Hot Rails. So, Sadi, you never learned how to write a check, but you knew Latin in high school? Well, in California, maybe it's a good thing that California has those laws then, because I think it was covered in our economics class in California. In California, they required you to take an economics class and a civics class. And in economics, I think I learned how to, write a checkbook. I know it was in a school that I learned how to write a check. It wasn't it wasn't like at home. I remember distinctly like learning how to write a check at school, even though I saw my mom write a check when I was really young at home. But anyway. Thanks, DJ Sam. I know it is kind of hard to develop deeper relationships in a chat room. I don't know what that is. A pet chainsaw? What is that? Is it a chainsaw that you're like, I like this chainsaw so much, it's like my pet and I give it a name? Or is it a pet that you name Chainsaw, but it's really like a vicious dog? Is it a chainsaw that, like, the third one, I don't even want to go there because I don't even want that on my mind. Oh, I see. Thanks for sharing, Ivan. I'm sorry. Please don't troll me on Twitter. I'm like one of those people. Please don't do it. No, don't troll me. But I have thick skin too, so. Hello, guest 173. I think so. I think he left the show. You've been away. Well, I'm glad you're back. He's not in the room right now, so maybe he has just gotten tired. Okay. Oh, it's a mechanical device. Like a chainsaw? Thanks, Ivan. You're sweet. Should I look this up? Yeah, I don't know, Hot Rails. It just sounds a little weird. I think I'm gonna. Well, I am going to spend time with David for my summer break. And I will let David reveal to you any of our summer break plans.
What's he asking?
What are you doing for summer break? And I said, I'm going to spend time with you, and if you would like to reveal anything you want to do for summer break, you're more than welcome.
Yeah.
But I have one goal for summer break.
Good. Enjoy this summer.
Spend time with David.
Thank you. Well, that's what we're going to do. Yeah. We're going to have fun. Sounds good.
Yep, it's all about those UHF. And yes, I'm sure David will be pumping most of the gas for summer break. I think that's a good goal. How long is my summer? Well, I get out of school. I don't get out of school until June 20th. And then I have at least all of August, like the June 28th first to end of June, and then all of August, no, not August, all of July off. And then, you know, right about August is when teachers, even though a lot of us still, I'll still have some time off, but it just like hits you like that. You only need 1 month, and then it starts like, I gotta plan for the new school year and the new students. When kids go back is when I usually have to work. Yeah, teachers usually start about a week. I mean, we get paid for about a week before. Actually, sometimes it's only a day before kids get back. But teachers often work in their classroom like 2 weeks before kids will get back. But it is close to 2.5 months off. And I know a lot of people are like, teachers get 2.5 months off. You have no idea how hard teachers work during the school year. At least any teacher that I've met that I can definitely say, oh yes, that teacher is a very dedicated teacher, and I want they just work so hard. They do. They work many hours. They take work home with them. So as my friend said, it's a full-time teacher. They work like a normal private sector job, but they just squeeze it all into 9 months so that they can, or 9.5 months, whatever. 9.5, so that they can take the 2.5, 3 months off. And they need that because they really squeeze it in. And sometimes even if they don't like intentionally squeeze it in, it's just they work so hard. And then there's teachers like me who probably work harder than I have to. I probably do work harder than I have to. But it's just, maybe it's my personality. Well, why don't you go volunteer in a classroom and then tell me if you think that, Ivan. I had one person volunteer in my classroom, and then the next time they had a volunteer, they're like something about they were just about to sign in. They're like, you better leave right now because then the whole school went on lockout. and they locked everybody out of the school. And then, anyway, and they decided, then they got busy with their own life, so they decided not to volunteer. But I would say, if you think that teachers are overpaid, then you should go and volunteer in a classroom. Are you in Riverside, California, Ivan? I agree that David believes he's smarter than Albert Einstein. I wouldn't doubt that David believes that he's smarter than Albert Einstein. Did you know I grew up there, Ivan? Or is that news to you? Okay. Were we friends? I don't know. That's pretty cool. There are people that I would probably love to reconnect with back in Riverside. Or at least near there, like Lake Elsinore. Or anyway. Very humble. David is a very humble individual. Anyway, I went to Riverside is getting really big. I went back. I didn't go back when I went down to Disneyland, but I went back a few years ago and I was like, whoa, this is getting huge back then. And I'm sure it's even more. Yeah, there is nice weather in Riverside. That is one thing I really miss about Riverside is the weather. Except the Santa Ana storms. I did not like them. I went to like 3 different high schools in Riverside. So I went to one high school from my freshman year till I was in 7th, or until my junior year. And my family did not have a lot of money. And so I knew that my parents, weren't going to buy me a prom ticket or give me the money for a prom ticket, and I didn't have a job. And so anyway, that I went to Arlington High School. And then when so Arlington High School said, if you want to go to junior prom, we need people to work the concessions at the football games. And so if you work the concessions and you work all the concessions during the football season, you will earn a ticket to junior prom. And that was worth it to me. So I worked all the concessions in my junior high school year. Then my wonderful, awesome parents decided, you know what? Let's move across country in the middle of my junior year. I was actually going across country on my birthday. So I didn't get the prom ticket. Then that summer, they decided, this isn't working out. Let's move back. And I didn't go back to the high school I started with. I went back to Riverside, but I ended up at a different high school. That one was, oh goodness. I forget it. The only reason I'm like spacing on it is because then they decided to move halfway through my senior year, still in Riverside, but the move was far enough where I had to change schools. What was that school? It was no, it started with an N. Anyway, I ended up graduating from Polytechnic High School. Poly in high school. But I love them. I love them being Elias, but yes. Oh, you don't want to know. I've lived up here for a long time, and I can't even tell you how often my parents moved after I became someone who didn't move after I settled down. What is happening? You ask? I am having a great day. How are you? Okay. Awesome. Weather's nice down there. No, my parents, I always got asked a few questions, and I come from a very large family. I was always asked, "Are you Catholic?" No. "Are you Mormon?" No. "Are you military?" No. My parents just had this idea like the grass is always greener on the other side. And I realized that the grass is just a different shade of green, and all the colors of green are beautiful. Well, maybe not chartreuse, but I love the word chartreuse. Chartreuse. Wait, chartreuse isn't even green. What am I wait, maybe it is. Chartreuse. I used to love that word, but then I met somebody who that was their favorite color. Oh, it is green. Yeah, chartreuse. And it's chartreuse is like my least favorite green. But I love the word. I love how the word sounds. Chartreuse. Sometimes I got mauve and chartreuse mixed up in my mind with the color. I'm not a fan of either, really. I can tell you, I think that's a definition of me, bingo. Except sometimes I feel like I'm rocking it, so I'm not always humble, but most of the time I am. You obviously okay. Why aren't you watching me? Why did you feel the need to share that, Scoot? Are you even watching me? Sarah, do you like capers? Not really. Well, they're salty. I like that. But aren't they kind of, I don't know. Not really. No, I don't like capers. That is true, bingo. That is true. Good night, pirate. I didn't realize you're so sleepy. Or is it I'm just boring? I can't tell how to read your Z's. Zzz. Is that what you're hearing? There's a lot of buzz, like bees around you now or something? Yes, that's a good question to ask somebody who asked if you like capers. Do you like sardines? Oh, wait. I'm trying to find it. Do you like anchovies? I found it, sorry. Thank you. Maybe I saw that out of the corner of my eye. Thank you, Hot Rails. Pirate. Salty. Yes, how are you? Somebody's trying to PM me over at iVlog. And I'm like, but you're not even in the room. Why are you trying to send me a private message? That doesn't even, unless I can't see the chatters. Everybody in iVlog, can you say hi to me? I need constant adoration. I'll say hi to you. Hi, 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 hi. Okay, you like sardines, anchovies with onions, tomatoes, and peppers, and capers on a flatbread? I don't know. Are capers like... I think I might try them again, because at the time I didn't like vinegar, and I'm still not a fan, but I've gotten to the point where I'm okay with vinegar now, and I think that's what I didn't like about capers, is they seem like they're very vinegary. I like pumpernickel. Wait, do I like pumpernickel? No, I like dark, sweet wheat bread. And I've always, it like has the same color as pumpernickel, but pumpernickel has like that dill taste, which I actually don't like. But then there's these rolls sometimes that have that same color, but they don't have the dill taste, and I like those. I like the wheat and the dark. Anyway. Hello, True Blue. You dedicated viewer, you. You really like keepers. Maybe that's it. Well, does real pumpernickel have like that kind of like dill taste? Or does real pumpernickel taste sweet? Because for a long time I was like, I want this dark bread, and I was thinking it was pumpernickel, and then I tasted pumpernickel and I was like, this isn't the same taste I was looking for. And I mean, I don't mind rye bread. Yeah, rye bread has that dill taste. So real pumpernickel does not have a dill taste. And that's what I like. Yeah, maybe I do like pumpernickel. They don't sell that much pumpernickel around here. Rye bread is not my favorite, but rye with like, what is it? Corned beef. Is it corned beef on rye? That's pretty good. Rye is kind of like sweet. Oh no, yeah. Rye is a little bit different than sourdough, but Anne Hathaway. I think that's what Mad Dog says, Xenu. Wait, are you Mad Dog? You never cam up, Xenu. You claim you did, and then somebody said that the person I thought was you wasn't you, and that you are somebody who showed something that you shouldn't show. So I don't know anymore. I'm confused with you. All right, but I'll look up Anne Hathaway. Oh, Catwoman. I always wanted to be Catwoman. Oh, I can see it a little bit. No one has ever told me that, though, no. But I think you're right. My jawline, I feel like, has dropped a little bit. But yeah, you're right. I do look like Anne Hathaway. I don't like salami, or I really don't. I'm not a nitrate person. I'm sorry, DJ Sam on Demand. Did you send it through iVlog or did you send it through Vaughn Live? Because I watch. Oh, sorry. I watch iVlog, Vaughn Live Chat over here. It's through a thing called Pop Out Chat. And so I can't actually receive your private messages. Ooh, I did not know it had an antonym. I like this one instead.
So there was a video someone posted today about how there's still an Ebola outbreak in Africa, and I posted some information about how Trump, about a year ago, lifted the travel ban on Chad, meaning anybody from Chad who may be latently suffering from Ebola may be coming to America. Yeah, I was quite shocked, actually. Of all the places to lift the travel ban, he lifts it on Chad, and they've got people in Venezuela that would love to have safe haven in America with their families here who are green card holders. What is this about? Yeah. All right. Yeah, Chad. Not Tyrone, Chad. The country of Chad. Look at a map of Africa. Familiarize yourself with the Ebola zone.
Okay.
Well, I can't help anybody privately on that note. Yes, can I help you? Go ahead. Yeah. Okay, good. I got it. We record those VPNs they're calling from. It's great. They use these anonymous call-ins that are run by the FBI, and they don't even realize it. Some people think VPNs are not run by the FBI. Just don't respond at all. Thank you. Okay, thank you. I'm going to be moving on, taking over for Sarah. She's going to take a break. She's going to have her dinner.
Okay, thank you for making dinner.
And I'm not going to
back later.
I'm not going to activate Skype right now because I can do that tomorrow on Technology Thursday. I will start the Skype system up. Yeah, but I won't be necessarily able to take calls. Simply because of the reality that
Alright, I'm gonna go eat dinner.
we get attacked. We've been systematically hit by like gang stalkers who attack us on Skype. Thanks, Sarah. So we've been dealing with that too. Well, I'll play you a little of the video. It's very compelling. Wow, you found my video, my pages. They were open. Great. Yeah, Chad. It's going to kind of freak you out, so bear with me. We will play the full detail of this video later tonight, so.
It is a fair assessment to say that YouTube is one of these places that is full of fear porn. That's absolutely correct. I have tried to stay as far away from that as I can. But trust me when I tell you that this is the real deal. They're already saying it. Literally, every major health organization in the world has said this is the worst outbreak on record as of right now. It is nowhere near being contained. They have no idea where the epicenter is. And given that funding for the Red Cross in the area has been cut, they are going to have less resources to deal with it. Add the fighting that's going on in Africa to this, and the vast amount of presence of U.S. troops. This is a recipe for a worldwide pandemic. None of what I just said is hyperbole. This is the real deal. And I'm going to show you slowly today in this video. I'm going to go through everything I need to go through and try not to cut this down so that you can see everything that you need to see about this. Now, the first place we're going to start is Africa itself. We're going to look at the continent and we're going to show you where this is. Now, we'll zoom out here, down here at the bottom, this DRC, this is the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Over here to the upper right, by the borders of Rwanda and Burundi, this is Kivu. This is where the big outbreak is. This is where the fighting is, just to the north of this. Borders the Central African Republic. And I'd like to show you this story. And maybe that there's a good reason for that, but nevertheless, that's the point. Now, I'd like to take you just a little bit farther north, to this country called Chad. Borders the Central African Republic. And I'd like to show you this story. From 11 April of 2018. Yeah, travel ban lifted.
Wow.
Now, add that to what we've already covered.
Okay, so apparently a woman spread Ebola virus 1 year after the infection, according to this guy. Yeah, and it's pretty obvious that the infection can be dormant in a person's body, and we're now taking people from Chad who easily could have been exposed a year ago, 2 years ago to Ebola. Not Chang, Chad. So it's as if Donald Trump is being told to open the door on an Ebola pandemic, bring it on in. You know that Obama did a Ebola nightmare of bringing 14 people with Ebola into our country to be studied. And I even did a video on YouTube back then called Obama Ebola, which is pretty hilarious if you want to download it. It's really funny, actually. And I play it on the show, but it does involve the blackface. And Mark said he doesn't want to have blackface in the show, and I have honored that request ever since. Yeah. But if you want to see my blackface videos, which I strongly support because I was making fun of the New World Order puppet President Barack Obama at the time, and I couldn't have done it in whiteface, and it's not a racist slur at all. The Democrats are trying to attack freedom of speech and claim that political correctness trumps freedom of speech. It doesn't. So just check it out. It's youtube.com/David John Sponheim, Jon. Okay, immigrant kids are dying in our custody under Trump. 4,500 kids have been displaced that we know of, maybe even more. And Trump could care less. He isn't running any type of a search for the solutions to these problems. They claim it's going to be about a year before we can find the